দর্শক শুভেচ্ছা সবাইকে স্বাগত চলতে চলতে অনুষ্ঠানে আপনাদের সঙ্গে থাকছে মাহফুজ মিশা। আজকে আমার অতিথি ঢাকায় দক্ষিণ কোরিয়ার রাষ্ট্রদূত অ্যাম্বাসেডর লি ঝাংকুন। অ্যাম্বাসেডর কুন, most welcome to our show. How are you?
Very nice to meet you.
Ambassador Lee, we would like to talk basically on Bangladesh-Korea relationship, its future and challenges. So my first question would be, where we stand right now regarding our bilateral relationship, and what are the priorities between our this friendly relation, and is the priorities changing day by day?
So obviously there is no doubt that Korea and Bangladesh are enjoying very close, strong bilateral ties since our diplomatic establishment 50 years ago in every field. And it is very close and very strong, and it's getting stronger, deeper and closer day by day.
So how do we start our relationship? We know ex-Secretary General of United Nations, he was then Foreign Minister of Korea when Bangladesh got liberated from Pakistan. Can you tell this story, please?
So when Korea recognized newly independent Bangladesh in 1972, actually the former UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon was the desk officer in South Korean Foreign Ministry in charge of this area. So I researched a lot of diplomatic archive about the beginning of our relations, and I found this Ban Ki-moon's name in every important document which was drafted by him. And one of the most interesting document I found was, the cable he sent to our embassy at that time, Consulate General in New Delhi, to deliver.
Who are in charge of Bangladesh also?
At the time, because Bangladesh was the East Pakistan at the time. So the recognition of newly independent Bangladesh, the message could not come from the Pakistan, but should come from some other place, other country, and that was India. So our foreign minister at that time, Kim Yong-sik, wrote a letter to the Bangladesh foreign minister showing our official recognition of Bangladesh. It was 1972, May 18, I believe. And this important document was drafted by Ban Ki-moon. So because of the very interesting and crucial role of Ban Ki-moon, Mr. Ban Ki-moon still has a very special attachment to this country.
Regarding Bangladesh. Okay, so the journey started 50 years ago, and you said our relation is become deeper, stronger. So what are the priority areas of Dhaka and Seoul relationship right now?
So priority area should be in the economic cooperation between our two countries, and also development cooperation. Now, Korea and Bangladesh have developed very close business and economic ties for the past 50 years, especially this RMG cooperation is the prime success story of successful collaboration between Korea and Bangladesh. And Bangladesh's RMG industry actually starts with Korean companies. And Korea was the first RMG investor here in this country in late 1970s. So the Bangladesh's RMG father was known as Desh Garment, Mr. Nur Kader. This gentleman entered into a collaboration with the Korean company in 1978, Daewoo Corporation. And with this partnership between Daewoo Corporation of Korea and Desh Garment in Bangladesh, they made a kind of joint venture. So, as early as 1978, and in 1979, as many as 133 Bangladesh people, the technicians, managers, and experts and workers, were invited to Korea by this Daewoo Corporation for 6 months. So Daewoo Corporation gave them on-site training about the RMG industry. And these people who went to Korea, after they came back, they started the industrial level of RMG business here, and they spawned this RMG business in this country. So that was the start of RMG collaboration between the two countries. And after that, Jang-Keun, the biggest Korean investor here, known for KPZ, Jang-Keun came in 1980. So Jang-Keun was also the first foreign direct investor in this country, and started their factory in Agrabad, Chittagong. So and after that, a lot of Korean companies in the RMG sector came here and established their factories. So up to now, we have about 300 Korean companies operating their business in this country. And out of this 300, more than 70 or even about 80% are in the RNG sector. And Korea is the biggest investor in RMG sector still. So that means that our collaboration, especially business collaboration, was somewhat focused on RMG sector. So now our task, our priority of bilateral relations is how to diversify
this investment.
The areas of our economic cooperation.
Can you identify the sectors for diversified? Which area the Korean investor would like to invest more, like, and make another revolution like garment industry?
So I can mention two sectors. First is infrastructure, and second is ICT sector. Infrastructure is an area where many Korean companies have interest in coming to Bangladesh. So so far, Korean companies have done a lot of infrastructure projects in this country. But still, as the Bangladesh's economy is growing every year very fast, so Bangladesh is developing many infrastructure projects. So that Korean companies want to participate in this infrastructure development project of this country. So now almost all major Korean construction and engineering companies are having their office or base in this country, and the number is increasing. And also both Korean and Bangladesh government are eager to support our two countries' business companies to collaborate more in this infrastructure development. And for that, our two governments agreed to launch a so-called PPP process, private-public partnership. So in 2019, our PPP authorities signed an agreement for collaboration. And through up to now, through 4 rounds of PPP platform meetings, we identified 5 potential projects that both governments could consider through this PPP or G2G process. So this is one area where
these are all are big infrastructure.
Mainly in big infrastructure, not that mega infrastructure yet, but major infrastructure like bridge building or electricity transmission or water management area. Even this metro line projects are considered for a potential project at the G2G level. So infrastructure is one area we have priorities, and where both governments have keen interest in further developing closer relations. And another area is ICT sector. ICT, we have done a lot of projects through the ODA, official development programs, through KOICA, and also through soft loan programs. And even beside this ODA projects, the major Korean ICT company like Samsung Electronics started their business already here in this country. Samsung established its branch office in Dhaka 2010. So it's been more than 10 years. And also through their partnership with local company such as Fair Group, they started to locally manufacture most of their electronic devices, including mobile phones, since 2013. So it is not in the form of direct investment, but
it's a partnership.
Yeah, it's partnership, and they are manufacturing actually here in this country. And very interestingly, Samsung Electronics, they established R&D center, research and development institute in Dhaka as early as 2013 or 2010. So Samsung R&D Institute is employing, hiring around 500 engineers, mostly from the Buet University. So in the beginning, I heard that their focus was for the application for local uses, but now they are developing softwares or applications for the use of this all around the world.
Okay, Ambassador Lee, Bangladesh is very recently entering into the metro rail arena, and we have started our first metro rail. So you have a huge investment and huge experience in this sector, and due to the big size of population here, especially in Dhaka and Chittagong and other big cities, metro rail would be a priority for next government also, whoever come in the power. So is there any chance to work in this sector together, Bangladesh and Korea? That's my question. As well as the government have declared that digital Bangladesh was their manifesto in 2009, but for future they would like to make a smart Bangladesh. So that is another digital content. So is there any chance for Korea to collaborate in this two sector? That's my question. But before that, I have to take a break. দর্শক, আমরা ছোট্ট একটা বিরতি নিচ্ছি। আমরা কথা বলছি ঢাকায় দক্ষিণ কোরিয়ার রাষ্ট্রদূতের সঙ্গে। আমাদের সঙ্গে থাকবেন নিশ্চয়ই, ফিরছি একটু পরে। দর্শক, বিরতির পর স্বাগত আরেকবার। আমরা কথা বলছি ঢাকায় দক্ষিণ কোরিয়ার রাষ্ট্রদূতের সঙ্গে। Ambassador Lee, my question was regarding any cooperation, future cooperation in metro rail and electronic vehicle project.
So first of all, I'd like to wholeheartedly congratulate Bangladesh people and Bangladesh government for the inauguration of the first historic metro rail opening yesterday. And it will contribute significantly to the socio-economic development of this country. So I have also very big expectation on this launch. And obviously, Korea is one of the countries where this very sophisticated and very high level of metro system in Seoul and other local cities. So based on our own experience and also based on our own technology, Korea will be very happy and willing to collaborate in Bangladesh's metro rail development, both in Dhaka and other local cities as well. And already there are some works going on in this metro area. In Dhaka metro projects, some Korean companies are showing interest in participating in some other lines of some other metro line, like metro line number 4, and there has been some feasibility study or pre-feasibility study by Korean side, and also in Chattogram. So through KOICA, our development agency, now we are conducting this the pre-feasibility study of Chattogram public transportation system, and also the Korean expert will prepare a master plan for Chattogram the public transportation system as a whole. So this is an area where also we have interest and where our two governments are working closely, discussing closely each other. So I do wish that we could have some tangible progress and some good collaboration programs in metro area as well.
Can you please give me a brief idea about the metro projects in South Korea, like the technology, the beneficiary people, the number of beneficiary people, and which country is using the latest technology of metro right now?
Korea's metro technology is our own indigenous technology. We started with first metro as early as in 1970s. And 1970, I don't remember the exact year, but still 1975 or 8. So since the first establishment of metro line, now we have more than 10 metro lines in Seoul City. Seoul is very connected with metro lines, and that is contributing greatly to the movement of the people and saving the energy, also saving the travel time. So Seoul is also very populated city. We have 12 million population in Seoul City. So Dhaka and Seoul might have a similar environment, and we have also similar experience when we didn't have any metro. Now we are one of the most developed city and country in metro system. So there will be a huge potential for us in collaborating metro area.
What about other electric vehicles? Because of there is big energy crisis all over the world, especially after the Russia-Ukraine war is going on, as well as there are some other challenges. So Bangladesh government is planning to introduce electric vehicle everywhere. Is there any possibility of collaborate in this sector also, or do you have started any discussion with the concerned ministry or authorities here in Bangladesh?
So there hasn't been any concrete discussions on this matter, but I have to mention the opening of Hyundai Motors factory, local manufacturing factory in this country. I understand that fuel technology, which is collaborating Bangladesh company of Hyundai Motors, this fuel technology will inaugurate Hyundai car manufacturing plant next month. So once they start,
this will be electric vehicle?
It's not electric vehicle yet. Producing this the oil-based gasoline or diesel-based automobiles from 2030, I understand. So obviously Hyundai Motors is heavily investing in electric vehicles. So if a Bangladesh company is collaborating with Hyundai, then that will naturally and automatically lead to the collaboration in electric vehicle area as well. So I see very big potential and promising future of collaboration in electricity vehicle.
Okay, Ambassador, my another question was about the ruling Awami League government when they first come in power in 2009. At that time, their dream was to build a digital Bangladesh, and now Prime Minister said that she and her government would like to make a smart Bangladesh. When you think about smart country, you have to think about smart technology and other technologies. South Korea is technically very sound and very prominent all over the world. So what are the areas of cooperation might be in future if a smart Bangladesh is going to be built?
Mm-hmm. I think it is the right direction that Bangladesh government is taking for the future of this country based on this digital Bangladesh and moving from digital to smart Bangladesh. It is the right direction and right leadership from the Honorable Prime Minister Hasina's side. And as I said before, or ICT and high-tech has been one of the priority areas of our collaboration. So Korea have very closely worked with Bangladesh for its achievement of digital Bangladesh. We supported for designing e-government master plan. So Korean expert drafted and published this master plan and work with the Bangladesh government for follow-ups of many recommendations inside this master plan. And many Korea's development cooperation in Bangladesh is in the area of ICT or some projects utilizing ICT components. So like cyber investigation. We are supporting Bangladesh police.
Okay.
But with ICT equipment and technology, we are cooperating with the Bangladesh police for their the cyber investigation capability building, and also in fire stations or emergency response. Very recently, we opened a smart emergency response center in Dhaka fire department. That emergency response, smart emergency response center, is based on this the ICT and high technology, responding the emergency situation in a more effective and smart way. And more than that, I have to also tell you about ITS system Korea is installing in ITS. It is intelligence traffic system. So this intelligent traffic system is now installed in number 8 expressway between Dhaka and Mawa. This expressway is is connecting Dhaka city to Padma Bridge. So in this expressway, we installed through KOICA project ITS system. So this traffic movement and traffic management will be done using this ICT technologies. So this is just some examples how Korea is collaborating with Bangladesh
to build a smart Bangladesh.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So Korea is willing and ready to to do more to further contributing to Bangladesh government's plan for achieving smart Bangladesh.
Okay, my next question would be about nuclear power plant, and the first NPP is building in Rupur of Pabna, and it's almost under the last phase of constructing. Bangladesh government has planned to make second one as well as next one also in some part of other part of the country. So is Korea interested to make any collaboration or partnership like Russia what did in Rupur?
So obviously Korean government and Korean companies will be interested in participating in Bangladesh's second phase of nuclear power plant project. If it happens, and if Bangladesh government wants collaboration with Korea, then Korea will be willingly to do that. Because many do not know that Korea is the world's 6th largest nuclear power operating country. So, we have as many as 24 nuclear power plants operating in our country. And also we have our indigenous nuclear power plant technology. So not only our experience of operating the power plants, and we also have the technology. And based on this technology and experience, we successfully contracted with United Arab Emirates as early as 2009 to build their first nuclear power plants. So Korean companies built 4 units of nuclear power plants in UAE, and these 4 units are now commercially operating. So we have successful operation in Korea and also successful collaboration case with other countries. So we are very confident about our own technology, nuclear technology. So and collaborating with other the like-minded countries like Bangladesh, Korea will be very interested in collaborating in this area.
You know, the geographical location of Bangladesh is very important. So all the big powers, they have very good relation with the Bangladesh government, and all they would like to be more close with Bangladesh, like Russia, USA, China, India, and other countries. At this time, the national parliament election is knocking at the door. Only 1 year left, if it's going to be on schedule. And several foreign diplomats are also talking about the election and other political issues, and sometimes they got some good as well as bad reactions from different sides. So what will be the Korean stand regarding upcoming national election as well as the political situation here in Bangladesh? Because you are a big investor, and for your investment, definitely the investor want stability as well as good situation here in Bangladesh. That is, I would like to know your political thinking about Bangladesh and upcoming election, but before that I have to take a break again. দর্শক, আবার আমরা একটা বিরতি নিচ্ছি, কথা বলবো ঢাকায় দক্ষিণ কোরিয়ার রাষ্ট্রদূতের সঙ্গে। আমাদের সঙ্গে থাকবেন নিশ্চয়ই, ফিরছি একটু পরে। দর্শক, বিরতির পর স্বাগত আরেকবার। আমরা কথা বলছি ঢাকায় কোরিয়ার রাষ্ট্রদূত অ্যাম্বাসেডর লির সঙ্গে। অ্যাম্বাসেডর লি, মাই কোয়েশ্চেন ওয়াজ অ্যাবাউট দ্য how do you evaluate the political situation here in Bangladesh? Especially we found some embassies are very active regarding the political situation as well as election, participatory election mechanism, election time government, human rights and other issues. What's the Korean stand?
So for me, I very closely observing the political development, political situation of this country. But from the government level, we do not have any official stance regarding the political situation of this country. And only me personally, I have a strong belief that Bangladesh has a very vibrant democracy. That is my frank observation about the democratic or political situation in this country. Even though there will be some various levels of democracy, there might be different views on the levels of this democratic process or institutions. But personally, I strongly believe that Bangladesh people will choose the right manner and right way for the future destiny of their own and also their own country. And obviously there will be many challenges, but I also observe that Bangladesh and Bangladesh people have a big resilience to tackle these challenges in a wise way. So I do wish that this difficult situation, not only from this political surroundings, but also this international surroundings is also very challenging. After the COVID pandemic, we are facing these repercussions from Russian-Ukraine war, and also this global economic kind of recession. So we are in tough situation and many challenges. So we have to make right decision and choice, and I'm confident that Bangladesh will take the right path, right decision.
So what about the mindset of South Korean investors, because they're investing here a lot and that is increasing day by day? Can you please give me an idea about the total amount of South Korean investment here in Bangladesh and how it's growing, and what's the psychology of investors? They definitely want the profit from here. They definitely want the good establishment as well as good political situation here. What's their thinking?
So Korea is now the 5th largest foreign investor in this country. The total accumulated investment volume is 1.35 billion US dollars, accumulated one. And when I arrived here 2020, the volume was 1.1 billion dollars. So for 2.5 years, or that volume increased almost $300 million. That means every year Korean the companies invested about 100.
Even during COVID.
Even during COVID. So even though the size is not that big and huge, but still Korea is number 5 foreign investor, and Korean companies are continuously investing in this country. And I have to say that many of Korean companies here are long-time investor. They came here more than 20 years ago. Many came here 30 years ago. That means they stayed here that long period. This means that they find continuous business opportunity in this country. So the problem or the challenge is how to attract more sizable, more meaningful investment in this country. So that should be the big task and big challenge. But if I hear from Korean investors, they say that they have still good business opportunities here, but many say that their business environment or investment environment is not improving. Some say it's somewhat worsening. Some say. So I think that will be a very important task for Bangladesh government to hear from the already existing investors. And they have to listen to them and what are their difficulties and their problems and their desires. So there are frequent issues among Korean investors regarding these tariffs and tax. Customs. So that is one of the frequent difficulties Korean investors are facing here.
If I am not wrong, you have discussed about these difficulties with some policymakers of Bangladesh government during your last 10 years. So did you find any improvement or any measurement or any steps to remove these obstacles from Bangladesh government?
Yeah, so I'm somewhat appreciative or encouraged by the very positive response from my government counterpart. They are willing to listen. They are ready to listen and consider the problems. So some are reserved, but some are not yet reserved.
Ambassador Lee, we have found some Western countries as well as other countries who are very much connected with Bangladesh. Their involvement in Bangladesh political matters. You clear the stance of South Korean government. But you are a big development partner as well as big investor. I would like to know the psychology of your investor, what really they want. And if any political instability here, that would definitely hamper their business, their investment and other issues.
Yeah, what I often hear from Korean investors is about the political stability during the past decades. And they said, that helps their business because the predictability and stability is an important element for any business. So for the past 10 or the 15 years, the political situation here has been better than previous period. That's what they said, and that helped their business here. And they are also very attentive about the coming political season, because during the election year or election period, there has been more political turmoil, turbulence, and in previous decades, or I don't know how many years back, but they said there were many hatars and violent demonstrations and walkout. So that has not happened for many years. But next year, in the election year, that might come again, and they are somewhat bracing for the situation.
Okay. Then you know, after Russia-Ukraine war, there are some new crises all over the world, and especially a country located here in Bangladesh. We have some good relation with USA as well as China, as well as India, as well as Russia. But recently, you find some diplomatic fights between the big powers regarding some issues here in Bangladesh. Being a career diplomat, do you have any suggestion for Bangladeshi diplomats or Bangladeshi government that what to do, or Bangladesh is in right track? The major policy of Bangladesh foreign policy is friendship to all and malice to none. Will Bangladesh can continue with this stand?
As a country which is facing similar situation like Bangladesh, we understand some difficult or uneasy diplomatic situation of Bangladesh. Korea is also surrounded by big countries, and many times we are somewhat forced to take side. And for small countries, taking side is not easy one. And there lies the beauty of diplomacy. So you have to navigate, how to manage your relations with big countries. Big countries can manage their relations with other big countries, but smaller ones, they can, but it's much more difficult. So you need very wise diplomacy, and I believe Bangladesh is doing well so far. And we wish that this global confrontational situation will be resolved sooner than later.
My last question would be, what are the big challenges you found during your tenure here in Bangladesh between Dhaka-CEO relationship, and where you would like to see the friendship after 5 or 10 years?
So the bilateral relations, as I said, is good and strong and close. But it can be much stronger, much closer, much deeper. And so we reached a very good level of ties, but we have to take this level into what we call new height. So to make that happen is a task for me and also for the two governments, I think. So in order to do that, what I think is necessary is some right momentum should be created. It might require some political decision at the high level, both from Korea and also from Bangladesh. You are satisfied. Korea is satisfied, very happy. Bangladesh is satisfied. But satisfaction doesn't carry our relations up to another level. So maybe now our relations is much matured enough to take off. For the next step. And I do wish that next year will be some year that we can create this momentum for taking our relations to another height. So next year, as you know, we are celebrating 50 years of diplomatic ties. So there will be many diplomatic events, exchanges. So we have to make the most use of the 50th anniversary between our two countries. And that's my wish, and also that's my plan.
Thank you, Ambassador Lee, for your valuable time. দর্শক, আমরা কথা বলছিলাম ঢাকায় দক্ষিণ কোরিয়ার রাষ্ট্রদূত লি ঝাংকুনের সঙ্গে, এবং তিনি যেমনটা বলছিলেন যে 2023-এ নতুন উচ্চতায় বাংলাদেশ দক্ষিণ কোরিয়ার সম্পর্ক পৌঁছাবে বলে তিনি আশাবাদী। একই সঙ্গে তার দেশ অর্থাৎ দক্ষিণ কোরিয়া বাংলাদেশের রাজনীতি নিয়ে তাদের অফিসিয়াল কোনো স্ট্যান্ড নেই। এদেশের মানুষই তাদের ভবিষ্যৎ, তাদের নির্বাচন সহ সব বিষয়ে সঠিক সিদ্ধান্ত নেবে বলে বন্ধু রাষ্ট্রদূত মনে করে। আপনারা ভালো থাকবেন সবাই, সেই প্রত্যাশা শেষ করছি। অনেক ধন্যবাদ।